Everyone. Welcome to Takeaways. My name is Patrick Searcy. I'm the Director of Marketing for ALN Apartment Data. I'm joined by the actual star of the show here, Senior Market Analyst Jordan Brooks. Jordan, how are you?
I'm great, Patrick. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Today, we're talking about your article from the October 2023 newsletter. It's called a Retrospective on the Third Quarter. So I know whenever you jump into writing these newsletter articles that you're really getting into a lot of data. So was there a way of looking at things that you didn't really have the space to address in this article?
I think for this one specifically, the one sort of perspective that I had planned to get in there a little bit was price class and just sort of ran out of space trying to keep this a reasonable reading length. So in terms of price class, what we really saw in the third quarter was kind of more of the same in that rent growth was stronger in the Class A and the Class B subsets than in the sort of workforce housing segments, as was net absorption. So demand was positive in the top three price classes, negative for Class D properties, with the most tepid demand of those that were in positive territory being in the Class C properties. So um, that again was kind of in line with what we saw earlier in the year, but that certainly continued in the third quarter.
So if we keep in mind the performance from the first half of this year, what's a big picture takeaway from Q3, and does that affect how we're looking at the last quarter of the year?
I think in general, it's a reminder that 2023 has been closer to what we generally expect in terms of seasonal trends for multifamily performance. So, if you take the August absorption number out of the data, the demand was fairly tepid in the third quarter. The August number papered over that a little bit. But overall, we saw, absorption do pretty well relative to, certainly the first quarter. And then, looking ahead to the end of the year, again, just sort of in line with the seasonal trends that we've seen kind of reemerge this year that hadn't been there the last couple of years, sort of, post-COVID. We expect that, demand and rent growth will kind of further soften in the fourth quarter. And so some of that is due to seasonality. Some of it's due to kind of what's going on in the broader economy. The return of student loan payments is probably going to have some effect on apartment demand. And then, as I said, just in general, in the fourth quarter, we generally see, a slowdown in both rent growth and apartment demand. So, in particular, nationally, that August absorption number, which was over 40,000 net absorbed units in August, that is probably going to be the high point for 2023.
Well, let's talk about upcoming events. I know that before we recorded, you and I were talking about how busy you've been. So let's talk about moving forward. It's mid-October as we're recording this. What do you have coming up?
Well, on November 7th, I'll be doing a webinar with Resman, and that'll kind of be a look at where we're at with 23, but more of a focus on some things to watch for as we look ahead to 2024. I'll also be speaking at the Mississippi Apartment Association on November 9th. So if the Mississippi area is a part of your territory for viewers of this, then be sure to check out details on our social media platforms for that. And then November 14th, I'll be doing a webinar for the Wilmington, North Carolina Apartment Association. So details for all of those will be across our social media channels, and be on the lookout for those.
Awesome. And also be on the lookout for any new content that we put out on our blog at alndata.com/blog. And Jordan mentioned it, so I'll mention it again. Keep an eye out on our social media for more info about Jordan and his travels, our company, and the events that we're doing. You can follow us on X at twitter.com/ALN APT Data, or you can just search for ALN Apartment Data on Facebook, LinkedIn, on Instagram. And right about now, you should see that little button come up. Just a reminder to like and subscribe and click that notification bell so that you don't ever miss any of our new content on YouTube. Jordan, I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to talking with you again real soon.
Thanks, Patrick. See you soon.